Live streaming is on.
Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is March the 19th, 2020. Strong hand. Long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Golden age in motion. Compete, don't complain. No fancy sets or graphics. Long-term thinking. I'm offended by selling. All right, I said long-term thinking a lot of the times. I think it says that on the shirt. Does it? It says strong hand. Think long-term. Buy and hold. All right, dudes. Hello, my elite friends. I think some of you Fiat freaks are happy today, aren't you? You know, you're obsessed with that. Tomorrow, you're going to be really happy also at almost this exact same time, 5 p.m. Baltimore time, 2 p.m. Los Angeles time. Tomorrow, Brad Mills, Christian, and Andy Hoffman will be here with me on the This Week in Bitcoin show. Hey, live viewers, do you have questions? I have answers. Type in Bitcoin Meister, do a super chat so I see you, or just do anything that makes me see you. Just the super chat or type in Bitcoin Meister. It changes colors and I can see you that way and I can answer your beautiful questions. I do want to say people have pointed out, and I did point this out on past shows, something's up with the internet connection and it clicks me off sometimes, and then the final product that YouTube puts out there is a little choppy in places. I mean, what can I say? I'm trying something a little different right now. I'm doing it through Jitsi. I usually do it through Jitsi only for This Week in Bitcoin. So we'll see if that makes a difference. I seriously doubt if it makes a difference. But hopefully the internet connection will stay cool. Hey guys, I see people are over there. Good to see everyone. Keep on ask some questions, because there's not, well, it's not going to be as long as the most recent shows have been today. Okay, defiance over compliance, baby. You know it. You know it. And linked to below is that tweet I've been saying to retweet. It says retweet it, so retweet it. Come on, that's how you support the show. It's that 2-minute clip of me talking about Bitcoin and the current events of the virus and all that stuff. And we'll get to the virus at second half of the show here. Here is a good quote from NLW. I got to say, not many better ways to make the point, as Bitcoin going through its halving right as the world's fiat currencies go through a doubling. Oh, my Lord. Pound that like button, man. That was a great saying. I even put it in the title of this video. I mean, for all the fiat people who are running into the dollar, that thing is doubling. Bitcoin's about to be cut in half. I mean, anyone can understand that. That's a really simple way of, if you care about scarcity, and a lot of people don't care about scarcity. So, I mean, there you go. But the fiat, the dollar, is becoming a lot more common. Bitcoin, new Bitcoin, going to get cut in half. Oh, am I looking forward to it? Well, we're 53 days away. I've got that linked to below, the halving site. But man, hype that halving. I am getting pumped. And yeah, just because everyone's talking about some virus, just because the stock market crashed, that didn't stop the halving, did it? It's still happening. And I think some people are waking up to it. And more will be. So I think some fiat freaks are going to have some big smiles on their faces soon. And yeah, so the people who are predicting the end of the world, panic is for the impulsive. You people panic. You sold your Bitcoin. Now look what happened. I mean, it's only been a week since we had that $3,000. I mean, it was like in the 3,000s for a few seconds. Now it's in the 6,000s. I mean, welcome to Bitcoin. I mean, if you didn't understand, if you didn't know something like this can happen so easily, I don't know. But hey, man, it could have a huge, it could go down again. It could go up again. But going to zero, people, You are panic. You're in a panic prison that I cannot comprehend. That is impulsive. No, don't let newbies, weak handers, don't let those people screaming going to zero or other weird things like that freak you out. Again, we do not know what companies are going to survive this that will be around in 2021. So it's a gamble in that stock market. We do know that Bitcoin will be around in 2021. We do know that Bitcoin will be halving in May. We do know that Bitcoin will be halving in 2024 and 2028. Strong hand 2024. Okay. And I want to say yesterday, the great Tay International was in the chat. And I've met this dude before. He had a good quote. I've been thinking about this too. Americans have been conditioned to love panic through movies for years. Yes. Yeah, it is such a part of popular culture. All these zombie movies, end of the world type of stuff, panic. What are we going to do? Everyone's been dreaming of this. Not everyone, but people have been conditioned to think like, oh, it's happening. Oh, I want it to happen. I want it to be just like the movie. And they love being in the panic prison. Unfortunate. It's impulsive to panic. You have to step back. If you start to get a little panicky, take a few steps back, some deep breaths, some Wim Hof deep breaths. Found that like button. And look at the long-term picture, dudes. Look at the long-term picture. This this virus is getting close to perhaps we have a solution to it, and we'll talk about that in a second. I talked about it on yesterday's show, that anti-malaria pill, but we'll get to that. So Gemini sends me an email, all right? I just skipped something, but I'll get it right. Gemini sends me this email, and I'm a little confused. Let me read it to you. The world, and Gemini is supposed to be in a serious exchange. Winklevi brothers, what are you doing? Winklevoss brothers. Hey, the world of art and collectibles is evolving and leaping onto the blockchain. Oh my Lord. The Nifty Marketplace is now live. I mean, this sounds like what Ken Bozak was talking about on my show. I mean, Winklevi brothers, Ken Bozak, there's a big difference there. I mean, Ken's awesome, but you're going, and Ken talks about these odd things like this. I mean, to each his own. If you like having things on the collectibles on the blockchain, that's your thing. But Gemini doing this, okay. The Nifty Marketplaces, I mean, maybe the Winklevi should grow some beard and paint their hair pink and, I don't know, smoke a doobie. The Nifty Marketplace is now live. We are proud to be making history with two well-respected fine artists and a world champion athlete. Read below to learn more about the Nifty Marketplace and the limited edition collections now available. Have questions about Nifty? Share them with us on Twitter or Instagram. What is the Nifty Marketplace? The Nifty Marketplace is an all-in-one platform to buy, sell, and store your Nifties. What is a Nifty? Nifties are, this is an email I'm getting from a professional exchange. Nifties are a fundamentally new type of digital asset on the blockchain. I mean, what is this, 2017? Put everything on the blockchain? We have partnered with artists and brands to create rare digital art and crypto collectibles. Each one is unique and they are all beautiful. Okay, everyone is beautiful. That's great. Hey, maybe you guys are creating, and that's cool. I was just surprised this was coming from the land of the Winklevi, but hey, I thought I would share that with everyone. I see we got questions. Hang on. Oh, we got a few. Wow. Wait, I wasn't paying attention. Watch out for those silver simps, says Ben Franklin. Yeah, man, you really do have to watch out for the silver simps. Everybody watch yesterday's show if you want to know what he's talking about there. Met and 123 No Skip said, many of my friends and I started jobs this year. They are attracted by the low prices of these stocks. I try to explain Bitcoin will give way greater returns and to never sell. Oh, I like that advice. I like that advice. Never sell and to buy Bitcoin. And I'm glad your friends started jobs this year, but many of them will not have jobs if we continue this ludicrous policy of shutting everything down. And you and your friends are just out of college, and you should be angry as anything that there's a ludicrous policy out there that makes everybody feel guilty that 95-year-olds might die and that 23-year-olds should give up their jobs so 95-year-olds won't die or something, even though they're going to die anyway. And we're going to get to that. Even though they could take this, old people could take this antimalarial now and protect themselves. All right. So, but hopefully, I have a friend who lost her job, and I knew she was going to lose her job because I knew her industry was going to get hit hard. And so I mean, what do people want here? We'll get into that in a second. Everybody to lose their job, or just some old people to take responsibility and take a pill that's probably going to protect them. And John Stramulitis says, I only have the Bitcoin virus, baby. Yes, that is awesome. That's the great way of looking at it. 123 No Scope said, Bitcoin Meister, one of my mom's good friends, worked for Gemini for over a year and recently left. He said Gemini was a complete S show and they didn't have their stuff together. Well, that's a little disturbing there. There's some insider information. I've never met 123 No Scope, but there's his story about Gemini. Wow. Well, it does seem, I'm surprised they're going with these, put it on art on the blockchain type of thing. But hey, maybe it'll pick up. I don't know. Maybe it'll become popular. Like good for them if it does. Now, moving on. Why did I open my Twitter here? Oh, because I just wanted to remind you to follow me on TechBalt. Yeah, that's TECHBALT. Okay, now the thing I forgot to say, it's funny what the governments have been doing. They'll announce some scary case, like a 16-year-old is sick. And then they'll announce another power grab. And this is what Governor Hogan in Maryland does. You can't apparently you can't have gatherings of over 10 people in Maryland now. Well, this will be interesting when I get back to Maryland and I go to synagogue. Hopefully they won't have this in place anymore, because I will go to synagogue even if they have such a rule. Pound that like button, conviction. Because I'm no bootlicker, okay? But yeah, they say something scary, and then we can only limit people only limit meetings to 10 people, gatherings of 10 people. And he said something like, people aren't taking this seriously. They're having barbecues in parks. That's illegal. What a world we've entered here. All right, but let's stick with Bitcoin for a second. And wait, let me organize how this is. Okay, no other questions. And I'm going to read a Ronnie Moats quote. Now, I'm not putting this dude on pedestal here. I know a lot of people do. He says, and it's an interesting take, stock market crash was and is justified. The drop in Bitcoin from 10,000 to 4,000 was not. I mean, again, it got below 4,000, dude. Bitcoin finally seems to be decoupling from stocks. Dude, I've been saying that for the last few days. It never was coupled with it. In the bounce from 4,000 to 6,000 as market rolls over. Weak Bitcoin hands were shaken out and smart money bought the panic. All right, I agree with that last part. Now, was the stock market crash justified in comparison to Bitcoin's drop? Yeah, it was, because, see, I mean, if we're shutting down the whole economy, clearly some companies are going to go down the tubes and thus aren't going to be worth as much as they previously were. And why the heck did Bitcoin go down in price? Well, what fundamentally changed with Bitcoin? So no, it was not justified. If you think stocks, if the stock price drop was justified. All right. So good point. I don't care if you think things aren't decoupled or things are decoupled now, and I don't care about your price predictions, but I thought I would share that. Okay, because I'm not putting you on a pedestal. Some people want martial law, apparently. That's how far the fear and panic, that's how impulsive people have become. They're so scared and they're so panic-ridden that they're calling for martial law. They don't even understand what that means. So yesterday, I brought up hydroxychloroquine, and that was before Tucker Carlson interviewed the dude that I mentioned. And then this morning, the president of the United States actually mentioned it. And so many people were tweeting about it last night. So you got some virus inside information here also. So if this thing really works like they say it works, and I think it does, and even if it works like 80% or 70% of the way they think it works, it really should wake everyone up to the fact that there is no reason to shut down the world and the economies of the world. I linked to a Carl Denninger at the Market Ticker. He has been great with this, and he talks about it today. It's only 22 minutes long. It's a video played at 2x, so it'll only take 11 minutes. And he says that the current policy, shutting everything down, is a failure of a policy, because the hospitals probably won't get overridden with people getting sick, and so they'll have their ventilators. But guess what? When anyone gets put on a ventilator, no matter for whatever reason, 90% of the time you're going to die. So we're risking the entire economy so that people will be able to get put on ventilators, and that there won't be enough ventilators for everyone, but then they're going to die anyway. So how about this? If you're at risk or if you're sick, you take this antimalarial, and then you won't have to go to the hospital. Now, and everyone can stay away from, if people don't want to touch other people and lick other people, and people want to wear masks, that's great also. But another thing is, people, if you feel sick, don't go to the hospital. There's no reason to go to the hospital, because you're going to get sicker if you go to the hospital. If you feel like you're going to die, yeah, then go to the hospital, okay? But the main thing is if this antimalarial works, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for all these people still calling to shut everything down. This is the solution. All right? This is the solution. Now, and Carl Denninger really puts it nicely in his video. When I was at synagogue today, and it was very interesting to be at the synagogue this morning, because a guy he got married. A man got married to his lady today, and it was his plan D. This virus had changed his plans like 4 different times, to the point where he had to get married on a Thursday morning at a very small synagogue. But it was an honor to be there and to help him out. And he had his son there, who's 23 years old. And it was just a pleasure speaking to this 23-year-old kid, because he's not worried about this stuff. He's not worried at all. And as I said before, if you're a 23-year-old kid and this keeps up, if it gets crazy, or if there's martial law or something, I mean, you are strong. You should riot, and people will be. I think they'll get the point at that point, because you should not be sacrificing your life for. I mean, this is the prime of their freaking lives. Okay, they shouldn't be losing their jobs. They should be getting jobs now. One thing that I did notice at synagogue, there was a guy there who definitely he's not a scared person, but he's definitely susceptible to disease. This guy pulled out a bag filled with pill bottles. I mean, there must have been 8 bottles of pills in there. I couldn't believe it. He starts talking about his diabetes, his this, his that. America is sick. America is sick. But this guy was taking a chance being out when there's a sickness, and there's all sorts of sicknesses going on. When you've got a bag filled with pills, I mean, that is extreme. But it reminded me of, there are a lot of people like that, and that's why we've gotten to this point, because a lot of those people are in power or have money or are scared and or vote. That's the big thing. And the politicians know that people like that, they've got to appeal to them. And people feel bad for people like that. And I feel bad for that guy. But he's got to take personal responsibility. And when you've got 8 different pill bottles, 10 different pill bottles, it was unbelievable how many different pill bottles he had in there. When you're in that type of situation, yeah, you really should consider locking yourself in. And if he's on that many pills, one more, the hydroxychloroquine or whatever, that might be. Ask your doctor again. If you are in the susceptible population to disease, if you're older, ask your doctor about this. Because the antimalarial, again, there are side effects. It's not perfect. Okay, no scapegoating though, people. No scapegoating. We're 53 days. We're 1 day closer to an all-time high. 53 days away from the halving. And speaking of the halving, the great Udi in Tel Aviv stated what I knew was about to be said. We are officially postponing the Tel Aviv halving party. We will make up for it. So stay tuned. So they'll reschedule it. There'll be another halving party. Be patient. Be a long-term thinker. They throw the best parties there in Tel Aviv, and they had to shut it down, unfortunately, because the Israeli government is as ridiculous as the United States government, if not more so, when it comes to this situation. Okay, what else do I have in my bag of tricks? So stop the panic hashtag. Yeah. Let's go back to the virus stuff real quick. And this is why what I'm about to share, we need an antibody test to see who already has gotten this virus and who's thus immune to it. Because it appears, and this is a tweet, I know far too many healthy guys and he lists some healthy, famous guys who got some super flu last year. These are highly fit people. I'm calling it out now. The virus hit the US back in December. We just didn't know it and called it the normal flu. And in this thread, lots of other people shared stories about how, in December I got really sick, or I felt bad. So, and if there was an antibody test that everyone could take, or anyone could take that wanted to, they could see if they already had antibodies against this virus, and thus they already got it and they just didn't know what they had. So that I found that to be a very interesting tweet. You guys out there in the world, or in the United States, just in case, I'm doing some research here. What city, what state is the best for non-compliance that's not, laying the smack down on people, saying, hey, you can't gather, you can't do this, you can't go here, shut everything down? What state or city? Do you know any? I mean, I thought I was going to be proactive and start contacting ones and say hey, but I just don't have time. Hey, you should advertise yourself as the one city or state in America where people can be free still. But does anyone have any recommendations? I'm open. My ears are open here. Because there's a part of me that's a little worried about Passover in Baltimore. I hope things get better. I think people really need to come to their senses over what's going on and learn about it. And they'll be able to come to their senses from learning about the antimalarial solution that is clearly out there now. And listen to Denninger's podcast. Seriously, link to below. So on a podcast I heard yesterday, some people were saying that not having a free market with the medical system, you're seeing the results right now. That's why they can't provide more beds. Okay. If Apple runs out of iPhones, they can produce more iPhones very, very fast. Okay. So this is what's going on now is a reason to be against socialized medicine. That it's hard to produce when you're living in a socialized system. It's hard to produce more or anything. And the medical system is a socialized system right now. Let it be free market. I mean, a lot of people, it sounds scary to people. Cass8 says, Bitcoin Meister, do you think you'll ever vote in an election again? Yeah, I was planning on voting in this election when I'm back home in Maryland. I won't. They delayed the election though, so I assume there won't. No, I know there won't be early voting. There was going to be early voting, and I was going to vote in it. I was going to vote in the because it's pretty easy. I go running right near the early voting location. It takes me 2 seconds. I don't. It's not that big of a deal. It wouldn't make that big of a difference. It wouldn't make a difference at all. But I was going to vote. I didn't know everyone would drop out by then either. So it really, I was gonna vote. So yeah, I will vote in an election again. I don't see a reason why I won't vote in an election again. I'm not gonna go out of my way to vote in elections though. Okay, like if I'm in a different country, I'm not sending for absentee ballots or anything like that. Okay, 123 No Scope said I was 22 last year but I don't put election on a pedestal. I mean, I don't worship those people. I was 22 last year and I got the flu for the first time in my life. I wonder if I had the virus. I mean, if it was in December, it really is possible. It's really possible that you did. Who knows? Who knows? Let's get that antibody test there. And so if there was a free market for this kind of thing, someone would produce the test. They would sell it. It would be very popular. I mean, people are curious. People are curious about such a thing. All right. Oh, looks like my mother emailed me. I wonder what she's. My family members. I try not to talk to them that much about this stuff because I know all of my immediate family members. They're not as laid back about this as I am. I guess that's a nice way of putting it. And I'm sure everyone's got to deal with family, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who are calm definitely have relatives who watch the mainstream media. And again, my mom, she's got regular TV there. She can get on the computer. What sites does she go to? AOL. I mean, she'll see the nonsense type of stuff. She doesn't go to the altar. She gets the emails from all her lady friends about, oh, look, the 30-year-old got sick, etc. And then it's sent to me after that. And my mom is over a certain age. Obviously, she's over 55, right? So she could personally be worried. But yeah, family members, younger family members of mine, you all know that I have siblings. Yeah, they're more worried than Adam is, to say the least. All right, we're getting beyond Bitcoin territory there, aren't we? So, let's see, what is this? How? What is this? Oh, here. This is from a guy, like this really ripped dude who could like crush the people who make these rules. How is the weed shop open with? And this is a guy from LA. How is the weed shop open with 30 to 40 people in there neck to neck, but I can't have 6 to 8 people in a clean, constantly sanitized fitness studio, not touching or sharing equipment? That's a really good question, dude, because the government doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah, let the pot shop be open, but this dude, he can't be open because people are doing, the healthy place is punished. Where people are getting healthy things done, it's punished. But the pot shop, we're letting them stay open, maybe because they're paying the special pot taxes. I don't know why. And they're back to back in there. They're ruining their lungs more, so that if they got sick, it'll be worse for them. And yeah, so you can see that tweet. I linked to the Amesh Adalja guy, but he's awesome. Oh, Vinny Lingham. So Vinny Lingham says to shut everything down until May 1st. He has a tweet about that. Now, I don't share that tweet, but I share a reply that I thought put it all in perspective and was the best reply out there. So Vinny says shut down the world for 2 months, basically, or almost 2 months. And this person had a little wisecrack tweet, and it says the following. I am also calling on the planet to stop killing 50 million alive unborn humans. Imagine if they pause for 2 whole hours, they'll save more lives than the virus has thus far claimed. Pound that like button. Okay, so Strong Hat 2024. Don't follow the herd, people. Fitting in is overrated. Let's see. Oh, I've got the wrong thing open again. Let's see if there are questions. All right. Someone said Alaska to go to. It's kind of cold there, but I'll look into it. Anchorage is not as cold as people think because it's on the water. I mean, it's probably a bad wind chill, but the interior is horrifying, obviously. Fairbanks is like a nightmare unknown to most men. But Anchorage is a relative better than you expect. And then during the summer, it was hot there. It wasn't hot. No. It was humid. When I was there, the one time I was there was during the summer, and the mosquitoes. That's what was annoying. It wasn't hot. There were mosquitoes. That was annoying. And okay, I sent this to a friend of mine. Okay, this is the end of the show, by the way. I sent this email to a friend because I was telling him about being at synagogue today. If Los Angeles or California or the United States make gathering at a shul illegal, I will gladly go to shul to carry on secret services. And if the police come to shut it down, I will resist. And it will be one of the greatest moments of my life. Hopefully, it will not come to this. We will resist. That's the attitude to have, people. Get ready to resist. Do not be a compliant bootlicker. Just have that in your mind. And if you've got that attitude that you will resist, it is contagious because it is so positive. People respect it. And people's mindset about this will go from panic to like, no, let's be with the strong people here who aren't going to take this, who aren't going to take this government. This is government overreach. It's not protection. It is government overreach. It is tyranny. And just have that we will resist attitude. Be a Bitcoin free thinker. Fitting in is overrated. All right, dudes, are you pumped for tomorrow's This Week in Bitcoin in 24 hours? I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Pound that like button. Bang that bell button. Remember, you get a new show here every day. And I will push the stop button. Follow me on Twitter. I set everything up differently today. Hopefully it recorded well. Thanks a lot, guys. I will say hi to you dudes in the chat in a second and stop live stream.